Clix World, and welcome to another episode of Our Clix Are Sealed. I'm Dennis, and he's Stuart.
Hello, Dennis.
Hello, Stuart.
What have you been up to recently?
Well, I think we could both answer that. Didn't we come back from we're pretty fresh off a tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a sealed tournament, but we did have a constructed, the Rock Provincial tournament, right?
Yes, here in Alberta.
And how did you do?
I did pretty good. I came second out of it all. It was a very tough match, and actually I got a surprise for us here. I actually tracked down the winner of this event, and he's going to join us, okay? So, HeroClix World, and Stuart, can you please welcome Stuart? Stuart, tell us about your victory.
Thank you. I did manage to come up ahead of Dennis, even though we played 2 rounds, and I lost the first one and won the important one, right?
Yes, you did, though. Yeah, the important one. I know this is a sealed podcast, but can you just tell the listeners your team? Because I think it's a pretty unique one.
So I'm not sure it's that unique, but it's Jason Wingard, Dr. Fantastic, the Rare Proteus, the Super Rare Storm. There's something else. Rare Chase Thor at 50 points. I think that was it.
Yeah, it was a +5 ruler team.
Oh no, it was +6, wasn't it? There was something else. Who knows? It's somewhere online that you can find.
Yes. So what was the big keys to this team?
Big thing, Jason Wingard can generate any bystander. So I have another Dr. Fantastic on my sideline. I generate the Franklin Galactus, and I just lay into other teams.
Yeah, you do.
So the thing about though is that we both went 4-1, right? Basically.
Yes.
Or 5-1 because we had.
If you're counting every matchup, including the playoffs, it was around 5-1, 6-1.
Was it? Because we cut to top 4 after playing 4.
That's right. Okay, 5-1. We each won, lost 1.
And the one that we lost was to each other. So in a lot of ways, we kind of tied.
Yeah, so it was very neat. I liked our second match better, even though you were kind of in control the whole time. It was more thought out.
Yeah, by that time I figured out how good Proteus was, and then he did better.
Yeah.
You know what I realized in one of my matches is that when a character within 5 of Proteus moves, afterwards he generates some terrain, right?
Yeah.
I can generate terrain underneath opposing characters within 3 of the character that moved or took an action. So I could move Jason up, generate water terrain underneath a Black Widow, then summon my Franklin and shoot through her because she's not in stealth anymore.
Oh, so it's any terrain? Proteus can do any terrain?
I think it's just water hindering or blocking.
But everyone you see does blocking because it's pretty important.
Yeah.
That's probably why I signed on. It's just blocking.
So just getting in there, getting rid of stealth, it's pretty cool. I think that 10-point Proteus is fantastic.
Well, when you say it that way, yeah, it's just a quick little around the stealth, any stealth person. And of course, Black Widow relies on her stealth. Oh, I didn't even know that. Well, thank God you didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, I can still shot your Black Widow first turn. Either way, we're not here to talk about constructed, though, are we?
No, we'll end it there. Congratulations, Stuart, on your provincial win in the 2020 Rock.
Thank you very much. Congratulations on your second place. Provincial, I guess, second place. Yeah. I don't know.
Before we move on to the sealed stuff, I would like to pass a massive thank you to the venue, Eastridge Hobbies. They did an amazing job of keeping everything incredibly safe. The social distancing, they had gloves and hand sanitizer everywhere. All the players wore masks. It was one of the most enjoyable events considering how the world's gone down so far. So massive shout out to Eastridge Hobbies here in Calgary.
With 10 players and 3 tables, they were managed to kind of keep 6 feet across from everyone. It was really impressive.
Yeah, exactly. So, Stuart, what's on our docket here today? It's too soon to talk about the pieces of the new set coming out.
Yeah, and it's maybe not soon enough to talk about the end of the last set, right?
Yeah, we could still be playing sealed on that.
So last time we didn't talk about the chases because you had to go.
Yes, that's right.
But the thing about chases are, if you pull them, you're playing them basically 100% of the time.
If not just for craps and giggles.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're always good too. But the thing about the chases is that they're really scariest when you see them across the map from you, right?
Yes.
And there's a lot of figures and sets where if you see them across the map, you're scared. You think you have no chance to win,
And
and
it's like
that's what we're
tunnel
talking
vision.
about.
Yeah, it's like tunnel vision. That's all you could stare at is that dude.
How do you beat those figures? That's
Wow.
our discussion for today.
Okay, so let's get this viewer. Let's paint a mental image. So viewer, listener, you see a piece across you that gives you this. I can't look away. They have so much going on. Which figure are you picturing? Stuart, throw one out for us.
So, just because Fantastic Four is the newest set, let's say God Emperor Doom.
Oh God. Okay, so not only are you have to fight this guy, but you're already envious that someone else owns him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, he comes in at 300, 200, or 100 points. But before we talk specifically about God Emperor Doom, what do you do when you see a power figure across the map from you?
Okay, so that is kind of the strategy, eh? So like, what do I do when I see a power figure? Well, first I get over myself because it's an intimidating little thing to see someone like that. Secondly, kind of read that card, see what they're all about. Hopefully, you've already built your team with some port powers so you could get around them. But honestly, when I see that power piece, I look for their best trick. I look for like, what is their thing that's going to change the game? What is it like a free action? Is it some kind of movement, or is it a shot or a close attack? And then honestly, you follow on those strategies of how do you mitigate those strengths? Because a power piece isn't a power piece anymore if it can't pull off its greatest trick.
Yeah. So the first strategy, and it should be your first strategy for any figure, read the card. You got to
Yeah,
know what people are doing.
it,
And
it it could get difficult. It could get difficult, but yes, read those cards.
yeah, I mean, God Emperor Doom himself has two traits, two special powers, right? He can do so many things.
Oh, so many things.
But if you know what he can do, that makes him a lot less powerful.
Okay, so you're also like God Emperor Doom. Are we gonna go through each figure on how to counter these guys?
I think just more generally, but yeah, we'll talk a little bit about it. So
Okay.
my second strategy is about when you're on the map, you have to know exactly where he can get to and what he can do, right?
Mm.
So after you know his powers, you got to kind of picture what they're doing every turn, especially if they're playing something like a 300 point God Emperor Doom. They can't do a lot, right? That first click, they're running shotting, they're shooting you for 5 damage, but you can kind of control that. You can know what they can hit and what they're going to target, right?
Yeah, so that'd be a great strategy for someone like this, especially a high point power pieces. They're getting what this one shot off. So maybe you just make sure that one shot's either impossible to hit or incredibly hard to hit.
Or they have to target something that you're okay giving them, right?
Yes, Moloid have him.
It's like if you have like a moloid and you can force them to hit that moloid instead of the rest of your team, that's a great turn for you.
Hmm.
My
Okay.
third strategy is
Yes.
figure out which click you want them on.
Oh.
Every figure has like a few bad clicks, right?
Oh yes, I can agree to that. I think it was your Mr. Fantastic. I kind of exploited on that.
Yeah, Mr. or Doctor Fantastic, the
Sorry, Doctor
rare.
Fantastic.
There's a few clicks where he doesn't have his special ability to generate Franklin, and he doesn't have his double perplex. And if you can get him there, he's not very scary, right?
Yes, and I was able to get one turn with you on him on that click. I do recall that. So yes, you're looking at your power piece, be it Doctor Fantastic or God Emperor. I agree. Look at those dials. We're allowed to now.
Yeah, if you're allowed to take advantage of that, make sure you can knock him to the right click. So let's say, are you looking at God Emperor Doom right now?
I am, and I'm also rereading his powers because I trying to force myself not to fall in love with him, so I don't force myself to go splurge $200 to get him.
So the big thing is he has leadership, perplex, and colossal stamina traded, right?
Yeah.
So he's always taking actions. But if you had a choice, like let's say we're playing him at 300, which click would you want to knock him to?
Okay, so his opening one is a 13 attack. I don't like that. The second click is Pulse Wave. I don't like that. Then I see he has this Charge Sucker with the special damage or special attack, which ignores all my powers. So technically, he's pretty effective in all clicks. I know it sounds weird, I don't mind him on that charge click because now he is not shooting me and he could be tied up. And again, if I could give him a figure, I'm okay, you know what? Attack him without defense powers. I wouldn't mind that click.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. If you get him up close on that click, you can force him to either risk the 50-50 rollout with charge or just take that figure that you gave him. I think if you can push him one more click to that running shot and then you put someone adjacent to him, it really gives them a hard choice, right?
Oh, you got a lot of confidence. You're going to put him on fourth click.
I mean,
Ooh.
I don't have any confidence that I'm ever knocking him off that 20, right?
Yeah. True, true. You're not
But that
wrong.
being
That's
said, a
yeah.
high defense, you can get past that. You can perplex down defense, right?
Yeah.
And in this set, you could even just have like, what's his name? The guy, Trapster. Trapster lowers all the defenses after he makes an attack.
Oh.
So when you're facing a big like tent pole like God Emperor Doom, instead of perplexing up your own character's attack, always perplex down his defense, right?
Absolutely. It just comes to the action like costing, right? You get three attacks with a lower defense instead of one attack with a higher attack.
Exactly. And then on top of that, God Emperor Doom, if they're playing him at 300, that's their team.
Yes. Oh, by far. I thought we were going to point that out earlier, but he's a one-man army at that point. You're going to out-action him every turn. Use that to your advantage.
So the next part of God Emperor Doom, I think kind of an underrated aspect is he has the Minions of Doom team ability, right?
That's the one where he heals when he KOs someone?
Yeah, and
Ooh.
he's doing that a lot, right?
Oh, yes. So now I'm sacrificing a Moloid. I'm letting him go up a click. Ah.
So that usually seems like a bad thing, right? But especially on this style, sometimes it's okay. If he's on that click 4 and he heals a click, he turns from invincible to impervious. So now if you have penetrating damage, it's a lot easier to knock him down more clicks, right?
Absolutely.
So you always it's always an uphill battle fighting against a figure like this, but you have to look for little benefits like that. Like if he's on that click and he does heal, maybe now he's more vulnerable to you, or
Yeah.
maybe if he has to colossal stamina to use an attack, he's pushing from like click 4 to click 5 where he loses probability control.
Oh, I would love him losing probability control by far. Yeah, and there's those few little clicks in there. Yeah, click five doesn't seem very fun for God Emperor Doom, does it?
No, because while no one else can use powers, his friendly characters can't use powers either, so no one else can prop his role.
Well, no one else is on his team at 302.
Yeah, but let's say they're
Yeah.
playing at 200, right?
Yeah.
Suddenly, no one can prob him on that click 5.
But yeah, I think we illustrated pretty quickly here like how someone be very intimidating and maybe one big hit and one plan to get him stuck on a certain click by far lowers a lot of his fun tricks.
Yeah, if you think about it, let's say you need tens to hit him. If you're making one attack, a ten's a lot to ask. But if you're making 3 or 4 attacks in a turn, a 10 becomes a lot more likely, right?
And hopefully math will be on your side. The laws of the probability is on your side.
Yeah, eventually, if you roll enough dice, you're going to roll a 10, right?
Absolutely.
So what's another superpower figure? Would you say like Darkseid from
Well,
Darkseid?
when we did our review, we did say this guy's almost as close to an instant win on that set. So yeah, yeah, he's a power piece.
So tell me about Darkseid.
Okay, Dark Side, he's a 200-point piece. My computer's trying to load up here. Doesn't he have that great little Omega Beam little trait where you could basically have fun, draw lines however you want, and whoever you go through, you get to make a free close attack?
So he generates a kind of a Omega Beam marker, and then he can move it by rolling dice. The thing is, he can't generate the marker if he's been moved or placed on the turn, and he can't generate it if an opposing character is adjacent to him.
So right there, we put someone beside him, and you're saying he's lost this ability to use that Omega Beam?
Exactly, yeah. Even if he just moves away for that turn, he can't use it that turn, right?
And I think right there you've just you crippled a lot of his amazing ability on that. I'm either going to force you to move or you're not going to get to use your Omega Beam.
Exactly. And then I think the really scary part about him is he has like 6 clicks of a special defense power that's impervious, succeeds on a 4 to 6, reduces penetrating damage, and has protected pulse wave. So you're basically always having a 50-50 rollout, and he has mastermind on top of that heals him when he uses it.
Yeah. So would you say two parts on this one is to base him so he can't use his Omega Beams? And as weird as it sounds, make sure to get rid of his mastermind fodder?
Yeah, exactly. If you separate him from everyone else and you base him, he can't use any of his great abilities. Instead, he's just a close combat figure because he has no range.
Yeah, that would take all of, well, I guess two figures, one to go get the mastermind fodder and one to base him. And now he has to either choose to fight that dude beside him or move away and hope to get the Omega Beam going.
And if you win map on him, you can put him on really bad maps where his Omega Beam Soul is running into walls and getting destroyed.
True, absolutely.
So this is another one where, like, if you have enough small figures, you can really beat him down quickly. He can't shoot away from characters. He can't get away with an attack. Though he does have another trait that really puts a kind of an issue with our plans, is that he has phasing teleport and he moves 12 spaces when you use it, then he removes an action token after using it.
Yeah, but Stuart, what would you rather him do? Spend an action attacking you or spending an action going away?
I would, of course, rather him go away. But let's say that he's killed one of your figures. You put a Moloid up beside him, even though it's from a different set.
Yes.
He punches it to death and then teleports away next turn. Are
I
you,
I
are
go
you ever
base
catching
him
him?
again. I go base him with whoever I'm okay getting attacked, really.
And then he teleports away again.
And then I'll spend the rest of the turns killing his mastermind fodder. And the moment he's away from all his friendlies, it's a little easier to swallow those special defense clicks.
Yeah, basically with a character like Darkseid, because he doesn't have range, you're just looking for those slight weaknesses, right? No friends. If you can score his other 100 points and he's always running away, then it's good for you.
You're up on
And
points.
if he doesn't have any friends to depend on, you can easily swarm him, get it like really close. He can only make 2 attacks and then before he has to clear, right?
Yep.
Definitely, I think Darkseid is one of the most powerful power pieces in Sealed.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. If I had a few spare perplexes, I would not be bothered perplexing his attack down. Because for a power piece to miss his attacks, like that's devastating to that player. And two perplexes can turn his 12 attack into a 10.
So I really like that idea. But what if you used your perplexes on his damage instead?
Oh yes, if you're in the idea that someone's going to get hit, I can drop his 5 damage to a 3, and then maybe that up close person has an invincible or a high defense reducer. Like that makes it nowhere near as fun. Now my 200-point piece is only hitting for 3. Meanwhile, I have maybe a 50-point piece now is equally as damaging.
Yeah, I think that's something that we don't do very often in HeroClix, but perplexing down damage can be like basically destroying a character.
Oh, I agree. Like it's so weird we don't think about that because there's these small pieces that have like empower and enhancement. Or oh man, dude, the good players learn how to exploit that +1 damage to my attack.
Yeah. And if you had 3 perplexes on Darkseid, turned his 4 into a 1,
Yeah,
what's he gonna do for the rest of even if he uses his outwit to get rid of a perplex, 2 damage is not enough.
no, especially in that set, there was a lot of reducers.
So the next strategy is a lot of perplex. Perplex is such a game changer, and especially in Sealed, where you might be facing one figure. If you perplex down that damage to a 1, they aren't doing anything for the rest of the game.
No, and then their turn strategy has molded from how am I going to attack this other team and kill some characters to oh my god, how am I going to get my damage back up?
So let's go to a power figure that you're pretty familiar with.
I am.
From the Captain America and the Avengers, the Captain Marvel Super Rare.
Oh, thank you. Don't threaten me with a good time, Stuart. Well, first of all, I'm going to say this, Captain Marvel, 150 or 100, it's insane. Especially with that hypersonic speed, where you get to do a hypersonic speed, which comes with an attack, but you also get to deal out that one free penetrating damage through anyone you run through. That's crazy enough as it is. You're getting a free damage and an attack with, well, three damage or four, depending on the points. But then also she gets that free where she gets to spit out her pet cat, and Chewie gets to vomit a flurry blades. So this character in like one turn gets four potential sources of damage. Yeah, that's a power piece. Yes, I know this because I ran her in my team, my constructed team. But that being said, I know her weaknesses. I've also faced her. Most of the time, you see her is at 95 points, and I'm going to go from that strategy. She is.
So before that, would you play her at 95 and sealed, or would you play her at 150?
On that set, honestly, depending on what else I pull. First of all, I'm going to tell you I'm playing her. Whatever else I have around, being at those support powers, I have no problem playing her at 95 instead because of the stop clicks. But yeah, 150, she's still crazy. Let's be real here. I'm more of a 95 guy. I like 200 points of other things. And when you play her at 100, it's almost like you're getting 150 points of value out of her anyway.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's just me though. That's just me.
I think the two, like looking at her dial, let's go through this like we would if we were playing. I would look at her. I would see the cat. The cat, there's no way around it. She's going to summon that cat, right?
Yeah.
The hypersonic speed, is there any way to get rid of that? Absolutely, right? You can outwit it.
One outwit, and it's gone.
And that leaves her high and dry without a movement power.
No.
Next, I think her biggest issue, her invincibility stop click. Invincible stop click. And she has two of them.
Oh yeah, she's got two of them. That's, you have to go there. You can't just go through them.
And when she's on them, she is protected outwit, so you can't outwit anything else on her dial.
Yeah.
So what's your strategy? If you had to play against her, what would you do?
I have played against her, so this is what I did. It depends on how much you could hit her for first. So the first thing I'm going to say is if you have 3 damage and you are like, oh, I'm just barely going to touch her at that, do it. She goes from that hypersonic with prob to a running shot with no prob. That's already a massive dip in her value. And if you're going to do this with a close attack, I charge up and hit you for 3. Great. Now you're not running shotting. I just get to take on the cat next. That's my first strategy. The second one, if you're going to hit her to the stop click, follow it up. Because then you're just turning her into a charge. Hit her once to get her onto that stop click. Hit her even for 1 more damage. You're putting her on a charge quake. Nowhere near as good as the hypersonic or the running shot pen blast. That's my strategy when I see her.
Yeah, and that's another thing is that when you're looking at a dial and you see a really dangerous click, like her last click is crazy, protected outwit, and she has the hypersonic and perplex, right?
With 12 attack.
You know that you can't let them stay on those clicks. So you have to prepare to knock her to that click and then off of it. And so normally in order to have like 2 attacks set up, you use your higher attack and then your lower attack, right?
Well, yes. You want to make sure the first one hits, yes.
So in this case, I think you would do the opposite though, right? You would want to use that lower attack because if it misses, then you just won't push her off those charge clicks.
That's not a bad idea, actually. Yeah, if the second hit is actually a little more risky, just don't do it. Just let the first one go, get a hit. If it's still a useless click, okay, fine. I'm going to go use my big attacker on someone else.
Yeah. So you always want to be kind of both figuring out what resources they have and knowing what resources you have. Don't waste your big attack with high damage, knocking her to a stop click that will destroy you. Instead, use your small attacks, knock her to that stop click, and then finish her off with your best attacker.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a great power piece, and she's not an instant win, especially when you learn how to snipe out the clicks you want her on.
Absolutely.
Yes. So yeah, that's how I'd handle this one.
So going back to, what was it, Justice League Unlimited, we have the rare Superman. I'll talk a little bit about him.
175.1, Stuart?
Yes, the one that you defeated.
Oh, yeah. No, my dice defeated. Let's be real here.
Your dice are just an extension of yourself.
Ooh, The dice are extension of yourself. That was Miss Piggy, actually. That wasn't Yoda. Or was I doing Grover? Who knows?
It's all the
Same
same to
voice
me.
actor. Yeah. Where's the
So
Superman? I'm looking for him. You talk about him. I'll find him.
his big thing is he's protected outwit. And so there's like some options for like getting through his outwit, but there's one character in the whole set that could outwit him. So it
Yeah.
wasn't too important.
No.
He had Quake that did 4 damage instead of normal damage. And he had 3 stop clicks in a row. And whenever he cleared on one of those stop clicks, he actually healed back 1 click.
Oh man, how did I get through this?
How did you get through this? Tell us
Oh
about it.
man. I might have just felt the spirit of the dice and let me take it. Let me rethink. I think I had a fun. I think I put some flurry guys in there, didn't I? Just to make sure to get you down in one like 2 attacks. I swear
Yeah,
that's what I did.
you had a few high damage characters and a lot of low damage. And you were able to knock him off those like invincible clicks to that stop click as fast as you could. And then you were just able to make 3 attacks in a turn that were able to kill him.
Oh, I had a flurry precision striker, didn't I?
Maybe.
I swear. Oh yeah. Yes, that's right. I made sure I could give a massive amount of attacks, and I actually positioned. I has actually put people right in his face because, well, he was going to be in my face with charge. So let's line up some multiple attacks on the turn here. That is right. I did just go for that. I smacked you right by all those 19, 18 invincibles.
Yeah, so you looked at my dial. You saw that he had some really mean clicks at the front. So use that big attack to get past them. And then
That
use
is
your smaller attackers to kind of whittle him away on his stop clicks.
that is right.
And you were able, I think it was lucky when you did kill him because you managed to make 3 8s in a row.
Yes.
But
The
even if
concept was sound. The concept was
he,
sound.
even if I had got one more turn with him, you still would have been able to do another 2 attacks and eventually wear him down.
So yeah, his strategy was just why mess with 4 clicks of invincible when you could hit him hard once and mess with like 1 click of invincible.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like out actioning him is the big deal, right?
Yes. Well, yeah, and it does work. It does work out when these power point pieces are 2/3 of your team, if not half.
Yeah, you're gonna have 3 or 4 characters that are worth 170 points when I only have a single one, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the last one I want to talk about is from Captain America and the Avengers again, and it is a chase that I am very familiar with. Ultron.
Oh, just you though, right? No one else is familiar with this guy.
Yeah. So well, for story time, I managed to pull one as a prize from
Yeah.
an event, and then I pulled one in a brick, and then I pulled one from a loose booster. So I ended up with 3 Ultrons at one point.
Oh, sorry, we all can't have the golden luck you can.
Oh, wait, you have had crazy luck.
Yeah, I know, and I'm hoping that comes back for that X-Men set. I'm not gonna lie, I really want that luck back.
Dennis with the Chase Hawkeye walks down to the counter, goes, "Oh, I'll just buy a single booster." Pulls another Chase Hawkeye.
Yeah, I'll go trade this Hawkeye now.
Nothing was better though than when you were just like, "The only figure I want from Batman is the Penguin." You go buy a single booster of Batman, open it up, it's the Penguin.
Yes, that was so fun. Okay, that was a very nice nostalgic trip. So which Ultron point are we talking about here? Are we going straight to the top? Might as well.
I think yeah, you're wanting that 14 attack.
Oh
So the
my
last
God.
point I want to make about looking at these figures is when you really know a set, that knowledge can be a huge benefit when you go up against one of these power figures. So Ultron, he's a 14 attack running shot outwit. He has like a crazy trait that lets him use mind control. He has like 3 stop clicks. He's just terrifying.
Yes,
But
he
he's
is.
missing one thing that if you knew a lot about Captain America and the Avengers, would make him look a lot weaker. He doesn't see through hindering. Everyone in that set had stealth. Everyone in that set could shoot through stealth. Ultron can't do either of those things. So if you played a bunch of commons against Ultron, he had to spend a whole action moving up adjacent to you.
Yep.
Then you can knock him to a stop click. You can force him to use that regen. But it was actually not as hard to take down Ultron as it looks. He doesn't have protected
Well, that's the
outwit.
thing to do with stealth characters, isn't it?
Yeah,
Stealth characters are just glorified blocking terrain.
it's and Something like Ultron, who can't see through stealth in a set full of stealth, he's actually not as power as you think he's going to be. So I think if we go over that again, the most important thing, read their card, understand what they can do. Second thing, look at the dial, find out which clicks are powerful, which clicks are weak. Number 3, always be aware of what they can do on a given turn and force them to make bad choices. Number 4, I don't remember what number 4 is, but number 4, we'll say it's knowing the set and kind of playing around their weaknesses within the set. If you played Captain America and the Avengers and you had like even just shield agents, they could ruin Ultron's day by just standing in hindering terrain and you put your other figures behind them.
Well, let's put those 4 rules to practice. So you've identified what else is in the set. So that was rule 4 of what could get in his way. Rule 3 of knowing where on his dial he's the worst. Where would you want this Ultron? Where would you want to put him?
Honestly, any click that's not the top click. If he's only has sidestep, he's a lot less scary.
Yep, there you go. His stop clicks aren't actually that scary. Like, they're great defensively, but he has a naked attack, naked damage on every one of them.
Exactly. Super Sense's shape change, Ultron does not get through those.
There you go. And then what was rule 2? Rule 2?
2 was looking at their dial, finding their bad clicks. I don't know. Our rules are pretty loose.
Yeah, they're pretty loose.
I think rule 3 was
but yeah, you're right. You already dissected why Ultron isn't as scary. Yeah, so you do those 4 rules.
Let's go over one more and use our newfound rules on them.
Okay, if we could even remember our rules. Ready, listeners?
Yeah. Well, let's do one from Fantastic Four and one that we both have some experience with. Let's look at Annihilus.
Oh, you would.
So first,
Annihilus.
Read the card. Tell me about him.
Okay, I am looking at Annihilus. I'm just going to go 175 points. So he has a trait, power, heal Annihilus equal to his number of negative energy tokens. Ooh, I better learn how he gets those. Special damage, invincible when this click is burst revealed, give Annihilus a negative energy token. Okay, every time a click with this special damage appears, he will get a negative energy token. So that means as I whittle him down, he's going to be getting more.
And on 175, he has 4 clicks of the special defense power.
Yes.
And every 2 clicks.
Yes. I'm also going to notice none of that says stop. I could actually go through that if I need.
Yep.
Special damage, outwit when Annihilus is attacked. Any positive modifiers of the attacker's attack value become negative. When Annihilus attacks a single character, any positive modifiers to the target. Oh my god. His energy shield would suck against him.
Absolutely.
So I think that special damage on his first 3 clicks tells me of any perplexes I'm going to use, it's on him.
Exactly, yeah. It doesn't protect him from being lowered.
No. Okay, so here I am looking at his dial now. Opening with running shot, pen sight, and that special outwit. Then he gets a special defense on his second click. Third click, he's a running shot energy explosion, so now no more penetrating blast. Impervious. Fourth click, another special defense. So that's now 2, right? 2?
Yeah.
2 negative energy tokens. And then his 5th click, he's sidestep, precision, range combat expert. Actually, that's a nice click, actually. That's a very fun click for Annihilus. Click 6, another one, basically the same powers, but another special defense that is now 3. And then finally, his last 2, he has Pulse Wave and Perplex. Probably thankfully for you, it's paired with a phasing, so you can't phase an attack. Downside is you better be ready to just pop him off at that because he's probably going to phase away and next turn use 3 of those negative energy.
Yeah, so from this we can start generating a strategy, right? We can go, if he gets to that last click and survives, he's healing 4 clicks a turn and you're never going to kill him.
Nope.
But if you can knock him to clicks like 3, 5, or 7 and then finish him off, then he's really vulnerable, right?
Yeah. I think I remember my strategy. I never wanted him on a special defense click because it's an invincible.
Yeah.
I wanted him on impervious or invulnerable so I could peck him off with penetrating damage.
So let's say you start looking at that first click. How much damage would you want to hit that first click with?
4.
I
4
agree. Yeah.
damage because invincible with -2, and he'd land on an impervious. Plus, he'd actually be losing his pen psi. So yeah, I would hit him for 4 right off the bat.
Or would you rather hit him for 5 and have him lose that outwit?
That's not actually bad either, because that's the max you'd be able to hit him for is 5. Invincible would -2 and keep you at a max of dealing 3. Um, that's not a bad idea because you lose the outwit. It gets him that second click or that second negative energy token, and it does make his powers not match up too well. Energy explosion and range combat expert don't go well together.
Not too well, no.
No, so I guess that would it matter if what's happening. If I hit him for the 5 and put him up there on that, I'm basing him.
There you go. So that goes to our third strategy or third rule, where we look at what's going on in the map and we want to understand what he can do. So he's always running shotting. He's always a range attacker, 9 range, 3 targets.
Yeah.
But if he has someone adjacent to him, he is not happy.
Nope. He doesn't like to play up close. He's more of a what's that word I'm looking for? Online friend. Yeah.
A long distance friend?
Yeah, long distance relationship. That's all he likes.
So we got get up close. We know he has some bad clicks we want to hit him to. What are we scared of from him? What is like worst case scenario for him to do to us?
Oh, dude, having that range advantage. We just said it. The worst thing he gets is he gets to run around free from far because he gets to hit you from 9 away. That could easily nerf someone down to low speed values. Some ranged attackers turn into close attackers. Now imagine your range guy gets turned into a close attacker. Yeah, you want to close that distance and find a way to stay safe while you're doing it.
Yeah, so we want to avoid energy shield with him. Does he see through stealth?
Nope, I was just actually going to bring that up. He doesn't see through anything. He doesn't see through hindering or blocking.
So what we're looking for here is we know he's a ranged attacker. We know he does not like people getting close to him. We know that our energy shield is just awful against him.
Yeah, can't rely.
We don't want to be using our perplex on our defense at all.
You know what? Maybe a bush isn't the best thing because when a nihilist attacks a single character, any positive modifiers. So would that give him a -1?
Yeah, so it would, yeah, I think.
So yeah, wouldn't that hiding in a bush actually make it easier for a nihilist to hit someone hiding in a bush?
It would, yeah. So we want to avoid hindering unless we have stealth.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say, so no, stealth guys get the bush for sure on that one.
And then on top of that, he's doing 4 damage and an outwit. So we can kind of control what he's attacking because we know he's just moving 6, shooting 9.
Yeah, so
wide, but. And then what was our final rule? It was the best rule, but I forget now.
the best rule, we forgot it. Honestly, know the set.
Yeah, it was know the set. There you go. So knowing the set, what do we know from this set that makes this guy a lot easier to take down?
So we want someone who could tie up and potentially be stealth. Oh, I think there's a scroll that does that pretty damn well.
We also have just a ton of close attackers in this set, right?
Oh yes, that's brilliant. Like if you're lucky enough to pull one of the a super Wolverine, go to town. If you're lucky enough to pull one of those
a common thing
wars that could make an attack after being carried, that's pretty nice.
Just like even looking at the common thing though, drop him beside him. He's not happy with that 40-point figure there. He takes 2 hits to get through, and he has shape change.
Yeah. That would be very frustrating to have to run a nihilist to know 40 points is making you 40 points is making you concentrate on 40 points.
Yeah, so knowing that there's a figure like a nihilist in the set, or even God Doom, we can know that if we had a common Human Torch and a common The Thing, you could carry the thing up all the way, drop him beside a nihilist, and you've just made a great move.
Look at that. You didn't even have to make an attack, and you've already nullified 175 points.
Until he rolls the breakaway and then kills your whole team.
Man, you just like to leave people. You're doing the reverse of those compliment sandwiches. Hey, here's something awful. Here's something great. Oh, and then he's gonna break away and kill you.
But if he doesn't, I mean, it's still a 50-50. You force them to take a bad option because if that running shot doesn't work, they're done. They're stuck
Yeah.
there beside your thing. He's gonna hit him for 3. It's like it's good, maybe 4, hopefully 4. But
No, you're right. And I think these are great points to give people playing sealed is just don't panic at these power pieces. Find out when they suck, and how to encourage that suck out of them.
yeah,
God, we need to edit that, I think. You know
uh,
what? We're not. We're gonna go
probably
full
not.
tilt live on
But that's
that.
it's a lot of work to get.
Yeah, don't bother. I think everyone will get it. So,
Yeah, know the set, know the opposing figure, know what they can do, and know what clicks you want them on. And if you can do all 4 of those things, you can get through almost any figure.
yeah, and because these are the power pieces that are usually most of the team, you're just finding out basically how to fight the entire team if you handle them.
Yeah, you don't want to be preparing solely for them because then no one will pull them, and you'll just be stuck with this team that's way too specified. But if you have strategies for them while you build your SEAL team, you'll you'll do better.
Yes. So I think this should bring us on to maybe some inclusions into our cube here. If we're talking power pieces, maybe we should each grab a power piece to throw into our cubes.
That sounds good to me. But we don't want to choose something like Dark Side, which is just nearly unstoppable, right?
Yeah, again, for our listeners, cubes are tending to be on, the fun side of things. Make sure there's pieces that anytime you look at them, you could have fun playing these guys. You don't groan because they do nothing, and your opponent doesn't groan because it's an instant win. So let's
Exactly. Yeah.
review actually who we already have quickly in our queue. We have the super rare 100-point Taskmaster. We have the 45-point Fabian Cortez. We have the 75-point Desaad from way back to World's Finest. And finally, we have a 30-point Industrial Spy from the current Captain America set.
So why don't you tell us your inductee first?
Okay, well, my inductee was probably the one I was the most confident talking about because I know this person inside out. And I think it's to no surprise that I'm going to be putting in our super rare Captain Marvel from the Captain America set.
Ooh.
If you've listened earlier, you know exactly what she does. I think this is a perfect inductee to our cube because she's nowhere near as OP without a bunch of Avengers abound, and that's about it. She'll be great enough to be a power piece, but not so overpowered that Stuart wouldn't know how to handle this person.
That's true. I think the thing that I like about her is that she can be outwit. And in a set where we're putting a lot of outwit, a lot of support powers into our cube, she does lose a lot of ability.
Oh, she's vulnerable all the time.
So, going against being vulnerable all the time, I have
Oh,
decided to chase. And I don't think it's a particularly great chase, but it's a figure I think is really fun.
oh,
I am
let's hear it.
choosing Chase Captain America number 071 from Avengers, Black Panther, and the Illuminati, and his Infinity Gauntlet.
No way. I didn't even see that coming.
So this guy is pretty interesting. He's 6 clicks long. He starts with the Infinity Gauntlet. There's 2, but the one he comes with gives him Power Cosmic, and you can choose different protection from different powers, and he kind of gets them for a turn. It's like poison, mind control, penetrating psychic blast, all sorts of weird stuff. Pulse Wave is one of them too. On top of that, he has Barrier as free to put 1 barrier, and he only takes 1 damage from each attack. So 6 clicks doesn't seem like a long dial for 150 points, but when he's only taking 1 damage a turn, that's not bad. He also has
Oh,
a
that is
special attack power, knocks back characters 10 squares when he hits.
wow. Hey, I
So
think I like that. I like that because it seems very powerful how long he stays around. But you're paying a lot of points for someone who has a lot of defensive fun. So 150 points for someone who's less of a main attacker, but more of a just stay in the fight the entire time really balances him out.
yeah, I don't think he's. Like looking at him, I don't think he's actually super strong.
No,
But I think that if we have the choice of both gauntlets, then he can be a really interesting addition to our cube.
I'd be down for that, right? You pull him and you actually get to choose the gauntlet. That'd be pretty neat.
Yeah, that's what I do because I do have both gauntlets, so I could put them in the queue.
There you go. That'd be fun. Yeah,
So
because if you pull it, yeah, that'd be a lot of fun actually. You pull him, you see what else you pull. You know what? I need a lot more attack on me. I'll choose this Infinity. Oh, you know what? I have plenty of attack. I'll choose this Infinity Gauntlet.
yeah, I think Captain America is just a really fun addition, but also one that can be a real headache for your opponents. And not to
Oh,
the
if
point
I
of
faced this guy, you know what? Like, I don't think I'd be outclassed. It'd be a challenge. It'd be fun to fight, and yeah, we would have just a blast playing against each other on this one.
absolutely. And if you have someone with Mastermind, giving it to Captain America, that's not bad either.
Oh, hey, yeah, nothing says on here you can't be chosen for Mastermind.
So, any final messages for our viewers or listeners?
Well, listeners, as always, please chip in. Like, let us know how your cubes are going. If you found there's a specific strategy you played when fighting these power characters, let us know something we missed or something, because we're always looking for fun ways to own our own opponents and, have some fun while we're at it. So, yeah, listeners, come on in. Let us know how it's going for you.
So, preparing for next time, are you planning anything special for? Are we planning anything special for Spider-Man's release? Because it comes out next Wednesday,
I
doesn't it?
don't
Or
know.
no, it's 2 Wednesdays from
I
now.
don't know, Stuart. What are we planning something
Is it?
special? Oh, you got me nervous here.
Oh, it is 2 Wednesdays. It's the 9th. Okay. So I think next week we're going to be finishing up Fantastic Four and kind of saying goodbye to it. But the week after will be Spider-Man. We'll do our normal set review for Spider-Man, the commons and the uncommons, and then the rares and the super rares. But I also think we're going to be doing something interesting with unboxing. So we'll have to see what goes on with that, though.
Oh God, what a cliffhanger. I'm on a cliffhanger. Stuart, what am I doing? Oh, am I gonna be bad at it?
Probably not. You don't seem to be very bad at much.
Except maybe being entertaining. But yes, okay, tune in next time. We'll finish off our chases, as Stuart said. And yeah, I can't wait to see the surprise. And honestly, I might just dive right in and you guys get my unabridged, just full-tailed, uncensored reactions.
Okay, awesome. So this has been Our Clicks Are Sealed. I'm Stuart.
I'm Dennis.
See you guys.
Catch you later.